All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our online demo pitch. I'm a host of today's demo pitch. My name is Danila. I remind you that demo pitch is a trial pitch dedicated to make sure that your project and your pitch deck is 100% ready to present it in front of VC funds. Let me introduce you to LATOKEN Investment Committee representative, Maxim Uslamin, who will provide you with the practical feedback highlighting the crucial points investors pay attention to. Let me also emphasize two key aspects of a trial pitch session: timing and structure. Timing, you have 5 minutes for a pitch. Structure consists of 10 parts: company purpose, problem, solution, why no, market size, competition, product, business model, team, financials. That's it. So let's start from the first project, Platinum. Alexander, you send me your pitch deck. I will share the screen now. Please let me know if you see the presentation.
I see the presentation, thank you.
Okay, so you just, please go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Alexander Rogan. I'm Chief Executive of Platinum Dex UK Limited, and also one of the founders of this particular project. If you could give me the next page, please. Just a few points. I mean, we're actually talking about entering a rather large market, a market that we believe is going to expand exponentially over the next few years. We're talking about internet banking, bridging the traditional banking world and the new world of digital assets. At the moment, this market capped. It's quite volatile, anything between 100 and 300 billion. What's interesting from our perspective is that the projections are good, and the market is going to grow to several $1 trillion by 2024. There are a few problems with that market that we intend to answer. If you could give me the next page, please. So what are we? We are a team primarily of security experts, security practitioners who have recruited from international banking. So we put together a very, very strong team. We recognize that there are some fundamental problems within particularly the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Namely, we think the biggest problem there is security. We think there is a lack of strong corporate governance. And certainly there are major problems being faced by existing players with the unknowns of forthcoming legislation and regulation. So what we have done is put together a team that will enable us to deal with that moving forward. Our product is mobile. So we have a mobile secured payment system that works on Android and Apple that will enable immediate transfer of digital funds from app to app. And in the first instance, we intend to bring that onto the market via Google Play, free of charge, so we can actually generate some interesting client numbers. The purpose of my call today is to let you know that we're seeking funds. In the first instance, we're looking for $4 million from an investor or a pool of investors in return for equity. And then we will follow that up with a security token offering or an internet exchange offering to raise a further $25 million. If I could have the next page, please. We think the market's right for us now because there are going to be some major changes in the near future. Two of the largest exchanges operating in the world are going to be legislated out of existence. Don't have to go into who the names are, but we do believe that that's going to actually leave us with a great deal of opportunity in the market. Above and beyond the fact that our intention is to enable mass adoption. So if I go to the next page. We intend to provide a number of solutions to the problem that's actually been faced by the markets. There are issues with delays for people actually getting on board with platforms, problems with KYC, AML. We're working with the very best people for that. We're integrating artificial intelligence and machine learning in our protocols to actually protect ourselves and our clients. We have probably the strongest security team in the market today. So we're absolutely confident with the wallets and the cold storage devices that we've got, that everything that we're producing is highly secure, and our clients will be able to come to us with a degree of comfort that they can't get elsewhere within the market. Next page, please. The market itself is competitive, although rather small. What we're showing here is the key players and the daily market cap that they're actually achieving at the moment. But also, more importantly, from our perspective, we've taken a public security rating, and we can see that what we achieve against our competitors, we're streets ahead. You know? I mean, the levels of security that we're providing is much, much greater. This slide just lets you know what we will be able to provide against what our competitors are doing. So we're going to have a banking license. The majority of our competitors in the crypto world don't have a banking license. We will be regulated. None of our competitors are regulated. And our security rating, 99.999% availability, is an order of magnitude better than anything else out there on the market. I can have the next slide, please. Our market in banking is going to be rather attractive from our perspective, and in fact, we were invited by one of the European regulators to apply for an EMI license when they actually met us and met our team. So that gives us an immediate goal of some 300 million citizens within the European Union. Our intention is to roll our banking product out globally, and ultimately we're going to be able to target some 2.5 billion individuals who are currently unbanked and underserved. So the market that we're going into is absolutely enormous. And the valuations that we're seeing there, as you can see, TransferWise, Monzo, and new additions, the valuations are really quite spectacular. Currently, I think TransferWise is valued at some $3 billion, and they're not making money. Whereas our projections are a good return on investment. Investors can look. If we hit our business goals, our investors will be able to take 6 million per annum in dividend payments, as we, as a company, earn 60 million in our first year, 68 million in the second, and then we're looking at 9% growth year on year. And of course, that's above and beyond that. We have the tokens that we will raise through our IEO or STO that we will be able to share with our investors as members of the founders. Now, the next page, please. This is just a very brief slide showing what the market opportunity is, and I don't need to go into too much details on this. So if we could, people can read this afterwards. I don't want to read out. If we could have the next page. Growth, we can see, I touched on this a few moments ago. Overall, the market is growing, be it volatile, it is growing. Bloomberg have produced some very interesting statistics talking about the actual profits that that exchanges can expect to achieve. We look at some of the companies in the same market like Binance or Coinbase. These are unicorns, and we're achieving $1 billion of profit in their first year. Obviously, we can't promise the same, but we know what the potential is. So we think we can look forward to good growth and a very strong return on investment to our investor. Could I have the next page, please? Okay, this is the timeline. You can see that we're actually quite a long-established project. I'll say a few words about the team that we've got behind us. I mentioned that we've recruited from banking. Our deputy chairperson is a 40-year veteran of the City of London, a former Rothschild banker. We've got a breadth of experience there that just is unseen in the market at the moment. My CIO, Chief Information Officer, is a guy called Carlos Soleri. Carlos is a former FBI director, not an agent, a director, very senior individual. Left the FBI and became the Chief Information Officer looking after the IT security for the White House. So he looked after the data flows for President Bush and Obama. So again, these are just two examples of the quality and the strength of the team that we've got before us. Collectively, we have some 500 years experience. I don't think there is another STO out there in the market with this level of experience. And I'm not the only one with a few grey hairs. So we do bring an awful lot of knowledge, a lot of confidence to the market. The people that will be building our platforms, our data centers that we intend to deploy around the world, have got huge experience. Most of it looking after critical national infrastructures projects, airports, train stations, power stations, military, government departments. I mean, it really is very, very experienced. And I think that whilst obviously we can't make promises on returns, I think that we do stand a chance of being able to come into the market and being rather disruptive. We've got some very interesting new technologies. We anticipate a very quick turn up of new additions to our clients through our mobile app. Our early projections are 250,000 new users within the first 12 weeks. Actually, that's rather conservative, but you can understand that if we have an existing client base of 200,000, 250,000 users, when we do actually go out to market our STO, it puts us in a solid position. I'm conscious that I'm a little bit over time, so I invite any investors to get in contact with me. More information, more detailed information is available on our website, www.platinumdex.com, where you are able to download one pager, an expanded pitch deck that I've just shown. And if somebody wants to get in contact with me on email, alexander.rogan@platinumdex.com, I'm quite happy to share with you a much more detailed business plan and discuss any questions that you might have. But thank you for the opportunity to present to you today, and I hope you share the enthusiasm and excitement that I and the rest of my team have. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. So the word to LATOKEN Investment Committee. Maxim, we don't hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Hi, Alexander. Thank you for your presentation. I can imagine how, it must have been a little annoying to present with somebody else's, changing the slides. And, I can understand that, we can take a minute off of the page for that kind of trouble. But still, the presentation was almost 11 minutes, so definitely needs some structuring to, become of the format that we support, which is 5 minutes. Regarding the structure, I really liked it. It flows really well. The structure is on point. But I see throughout the presentation a lot of information, and that makes the slides very crowded. There's a lot of text. Let's start from the beginning. For example, the bubble slide, the right at the beginning. I found it quite confusing. And I doubt that, people have the time to read through every bubble, and maybe it would be better if, it was maybe bullet points or, some kind of flow, right? Instead of, picking bubbles randomly, just going with a flow, let's say. And then obviously a lot of information, maybe too much information in the slides, like who we are, the problem right now, definitely solution, and other slides as well, like competitive advantage. I really like the competitive landscape slide. It's really good. And maybe I would add, just to emphasize why you're better than competitors and why you have all this potential, maybe make it more colorful, even just, showing with a green yes and a red no, what you can do and your competitor cannot do. That already that's the first thing that would attract the eye of anyone who sees the slides. And I mean, that would be really important. The timeline, that's definitely too small. Well, we're going a little bit into details right now, but the timeline, I didn't quite get why it's vertical instead of horizontal, and that made it really, really small. And Danila had to zoom in, but even then it was kind of not really clear. So I would say,
is the timeline important in this instance?
No, it's just for, if you have it, then, might as well be kind of bigger and clearer to everybody. I mean, you still, you still kind of explain, right, that, in the process, you're going to be looking for IEO or SEO, and, down the line, there might be other things happening. So definitely keep the timeline, maybe make it horizontal, maybe make it with less, with less points, but make it big, make it, just keep the very, very important milestones that you want to hit. And that would be a very good and graphic slide. I would definitely encourage you to keep it. Just keep the information to the minimum. You explain it very, very well, very eloquently. So you don't need that much information in the slides that I mentioned before.
Okay.
So just keep a few bullet points, make it very graphic. People, I would rather have, the public listen to you than be lost in the text of your slides and just try to read and listen to it at the same time and be really confused by that. Well, that's, 80–90% of people do when they see that kind of slide. So that's it. I think that with this kind of feedback, you would have no problem going down to 5 minutes again. We had a little bit of technical issues, so that's definitely.
Well, I was running a clock. I was running a clock, and I was horrified how much time I was taking to get the message.
No, that's good. I mean, we understand that all the projects have many more details, many more things, information to say, and 5 minutes is it's very little, but that is the format, unfortunately. And
no, it's what we deal with. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, it has to be pretty basic. It has to, in 5 minutes, make the investors and the other users that see the pitch understand where the company is going. You don't have to go in depth, with the financials or with the strategy that you're going to use. That obviously that information comes afterwards for the people who are generally interested. But and I mean, in 5 minutes, you can really say a lot, but you don't have to go in detail. And I think that with the changes that I mentioned, plus just your own ideas of how the pitch went, you can totally cut it down to 5 minutes and make it more graphic, make it more attractive. Absolutely.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Alexander, Maxim, thank you. The word is passed to the project Myobi and its representative, Johan Goldberg. Johan, do you hear us?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Johan.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Okay, let's start.
Please share your pitch deck with us, please.
Yes. Here we go.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
I know.
Please go ahead. Good luck.
I will do it. I will catch up the other one.
I'm sure.
So Yobi, here comes the pitch deck. We are in a completely other world. We are in fact in cybersecurity, and like we say, the web is a new market for the crime. There are more than $130 billion stolen yearly. I think we're a little bit more now today. What is today the security? The passwords. When you got the SSL, you got tokens, you got a two-factor authentication. But today, even these securities, they can be hacked. in the coming new technologies in the world, like the quantum computers. Is the blockchain a solution against the cybercrime? That is the question, and yes, we say yes, it is. But okay, I'm not going to explain again, you know all what it is, the blockchain, but the blockchain has also its weaknesses, and what is the weaknesses is the person himself. And therefore, our challenge is to protect the identity, protect the provider, keep all that is web safe, and keep it also user friendly. Now, what I'm going to say is okay, this is Yobi secure the blockchain with biometrics, but in fact, it is a spin-off for something that already exists. We started in 2016 a platform where we integrate biometrics into the web browser and also mobile phones. And I explain it here quickly. So what we do is we biometrics, these are the main basic biometric features that are happening today. And we are focused on the face, voice, and fingerprint. We have more than 25 years experience in biometrics. The other ones are not important yet today. What makes this different? So what we do is, in fact, when you pose your finger or your face or voice, we create, in fact, a hash. And we don't store anything. I will explain it here. So it is a digital key. It is impossible from the other side to regenerate a fingerprint, a face, or a voice. What happens is then through the web browser, we send that information to the server, and the server stocks. Sorry, I'm French speaking also, so I need to keep it in English. And the platform is web enabled and mobile enabled, and I give it here. So you register only one time on your mobile phone or on your tablet or on your computer. And what happens is the authentication process is completely compliant. So for example, I register to my mobile phone, my fingerprint, face or voice, and then I go to my web browser, and the web browser verifies my identity. So we can also work with cross biometrics. Imagine I have to do a transaction of $100 billion, then it's perhaps interesting that we combine these biometric securities. So what is the interesting of BioSSL? Everyone has a camera and a microphone. In fact, we take the fingerprint through your mobile camera, which is a 500 DPI FBI certified fingerprint, so it's high end. We don't use the fingerprint readers of the mobile phones because that's an internal process. And the coming generation of fingerprint readers that you can put on your laptop or on your computer, they're less than $15. Okay, so what we do is we do server authentication, which means is that on the server, this says yes or no. It's very fast and accurate. It's 100%. We have it already operational. It's fast deployment, scalable, which means is we can do it for one user. We can do it for 100 million users. All the algorithms we are using are military ID grade. In fact, we have a company we're already working for in counterterrorism, in large identity programs like elections, like passports, ID cards. So we in fact downsized the technology to a consumer. The algorithms, yeah, you can't see them. There's a small error. It's FIDO compliant. So in case a bank, for example, or any customer wants to have also an internal process on the mobile phone, we can do that. Omnichannel means that we can also work with ATM machines. Now, I'm going to show you just one quick video. Johan, let me see if I open it. If it opens, let me show you. Sorry for that. That you know how it goes. Yeah, I have to close everything. This is a video. I hope you see the sound. You heard the sound too. This is the mobile part. So you know that we're already operational.
Actually, we only see
Yes.
hear the audio. For some reason, I cannot see the video. Actually, we're still on the presentation.
Okay, we continue the presentation. That's what you're asking.
No.
We
say
don't
that we don't see the video.
that you're showing.
You already saw the video. Okay.
We don't see it. We don't see it now.
No, we don't see it right now.
Yeah. Wait.
You share PowerPoint with us.
You got it? The PowerPoint?
We're PowerPoint,
Yeah,
mobile
PowerPoint,
and
yes,
desktop
but
in the circles.
Yeah. Okay. So markets. I think we cover everything in the markets, and now, but we need to go further to the blockchain, and there we come to Yobi. So what we do is we go much further with Yobi. So we're going to use our platform we have already. We already operational, but now with Yobi going much deeper. What we're going to do is with Yobi, we already can secure the blockchain, but we're going to deeper in the blockchain by, in fact, creating the hash in two parts, the public and a private key, biometric key, which means is that, and I explain, I want to give some money to you, to, I don't know who it is, let's say you, Maxim. I know you, I see your face, we meet each other, I give you my $100 because I see your face, I know you're Maxim, you take the money and it's yours. We're going to do exactly the same with Yobi. It's, I need to send something to you, the $100 or whatever it is, a cryptocurrency or an asset, and I ask from you your public biometric key that you already registered. It's like an address, but it is your public address. It's something from yourself, from your body. And I myself, with my private one, I approve my transaction to you, you get it, and only with your private biometric key you can have access to your asset. Doesn't exist. Huh? This is a business model where we, in case we should work with banks, we can do it. We can work with third parties in the middle, but in fact we also can do it directly from A to B, from, let's say, from Alice to Bob. So what happens? Yeah, I'm not going to read what it's already has a lot of advantages. We are, in fact, our goal is to go to level 4, which is the highest cybersecurity in the world. What we also try to achieve is to have an accreditation from the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, that thanks to our technology and our platform, we are know your customer and anti-money laundering. This is the architecture. I will keep that later. So we already designed it. We have found a very smart guy, because we don't have the experience in the blockchain. We need to say that. It's not our thing. We're already operational, but not yet on that part. The business model is quite simple. Pay per transaction and the user database. We have this afternoon a call with a bank, a Morocco bank. The Central Bank of Morocco is obliging all the banks using Know Your Customer. So what we do with the bank is to say, okay, how many transactions you do every month? And we ask a tiny fee per transaction. If it's a government, then the government pays the user base and not per transaction. So very short, we have 4 major parts. So we have already the technology. Now we're going to integrate it into the blockchain, create probably our own blockchain, then testing, then partnerships, and we hope to do some acquisitions in Canada, Australia, and in Africa. Africa is a huge market. And last but not least, I mark here, can it be a Yobi coin, can it be a stable coin? And we think so. If we ensure that this coin is a unique one and is not volatile to the market and keeps its value, it can be a stable coin. But it is a question. That is something we need to discover and find some advisors if it's possible or not. We won 2 awards, the CISA Awards for the best cybersecurity in 2016, and 2 weeks later, the Silver Award, and we were between very big players in the cybersecurity. We're in the news, so yeah, Cointelegraph in 2016 already spoke about this, was very nice. And these are the leads we're already discussing today who are interested to integrate our platform and secure their platform. We got a team. The most important one for me is a number 3. Is Kevin. He's in the dark because he's a CEO of a very large company in arms, but all the rest are active today, and that's me. And it's finished. Perhaps too fast.
Thank you, John. So yeah, we were, Maxime, correct me if I'm wrong, probably twice longer. 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes. Yes, whoa, instead of 5.
No, it's almost actually 11 minutes, but yeah,
11, yes.
We're not gonna count the video part. What we were trying to say, by the way, is that we couldn't see the video. You were sharing your screen, but we could only see the presentation. So we could see the audio of the video, but we couldn't see the actual video on the screen. So yeah, but I don't know if it's a great idea to incorporate a video in the pitch, unless it's very short and explanatory. One thing, this is pretty unique feedback that I'm gonna give. I think that your pitch deck has a bit too many slides, because if you think about it, if you have 5 minutes and you give 20 seconds per slide, that's gonna be 15 slides, and I believe you have more than 35.
Yeah, something like that. But just to tell you, Maxime, I didn't know it was 5 minutes, or else I would. I was not aware of it. You know, we already discussing with 2 big players in the blockchain, and 10 minutes is okay for them. But I think we can do it in 5 minutes. We can skip things of the ISL, and just focus on the OB part. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so absolutely. I would cut definitely some slides. I would incorporate some slides together. But you know, in a 10-minute presentation, it was flowing pretty well. I guess this pitch deck could be kept as it is for, you know, different formats pitches, but definitely for 5 minutes is definitely too many slides. Some of them, you know, usually we say how slides are too crowded, and in your case, actually, some slides were basically almost naked. I think there was one slide that was only just 2 buttons, like market and mobile, or web and mobile, something like that. And absolutely, I would cut some of the parts. I think Daniela shared, you know, the structure that investors usually prefer. You can see that in chat: company purpose, problem, solution, why now, market size, competition, product, business model, team, financials. I think you covered almost everything. I would have probably liked to see more about competition and why you are better. That is one of the most crucial parts, probably. So why now? Well, you kind of explained why the other methods are not quite as secure as yours, and you know, the fact that billions of dollars are stolen via web. So that part is covered. Probably just a word about market size. Obviously, you know, it's not quite sound saying, you know, anybody with a computer could be, you know, our market size. But definitely, I don't know who would be your early adopters, and you know, who is your probably niche right now, and then, you know, how it can spread. Maybe a few words about that. But maybe financials. Maybe if you already have something to show, that would be good to incorporate. But otherwise, just cutting the number of slides, definitely, because that also, you know, impacts your speech. You know, the fact that you're changing and readjusting your thoughts every single slide. So at least if you give 20 to 30 seconds per slide, that will give you time to explain your thought, and then you start with your following one. But yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it for me. Danila, I don't know if you want to add anything else. I think you had a question, maybe?
I think your feedback was rather comprehensive. So if you don't have anything to add yet, so I prefer to go to the next project.
Wait. John probably had
one question.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure, John.
So what I saw with my former colleague who has showed, for example, tokens, we don't do any IEO or things like that. Is that okay? Because your LATOKEN is there, you go to EAO, so we don't show it. We just say, okay, if someone invests, whatever it is, we don't sell tokens, okay? That's not marketing.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
That is, yeah. This pitching is not only for, token holders. Absolutely. Okay. That is something that we do to actually attract projects from different spaces as well. So absolutely, that would not impact your pitch in any way. And the pool of investors that you would pitch to, they would not judge on the fact if you have or don't have a token. That's absolutely
okay. So I wish you all luck, and have a nice day.
You too, Johan.
Take
Thank
care.
you for your pitch.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
In the meantime, we are proceeding to the next project sample with a representative today.
Hey guys.
Jeff.
Yes, can you hear me?
Glad to see you on today's demo pitch. Yes.
Thank you.
So, as was mentioned before, every pitch participant, every project has 5 minutes for a pitch. Please take this into account. So, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Let's move ahead.
All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm a co-founder at Zenpool, and we are a fintech infrastructure company that makes sending money and cryptocurrencies across the world faster, cheaper, and lower risk by automating traditional payment methods and also using high liquidity cryptocurrencies. Now, cryptocurrencies were actually invented to reduce the number of intermediaries in finance. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I shared the wrong pitch. 1 second.
No worries.
Sorry, it's a short pitch, so it won't take too long. So as I was saying, cryptocurrencies were initially invented to reduce the number of intermediaries in finance. But ironically, in the current state, the people who want to buy and sell these assets have to contend with a lot of intermediary processes like FX brokerage, wire transfer, custodians, trading fees, and withdrawal fees. Now, all of these processes add additional intermediaries between the buyer and seller, forcing most people to have to pay higher fees, waste more time, and take unnecessary risk. So to solve this problem, me and my co-founder, we have redesigned how local currency to cryptocurrency processes ought to be processed, right? We custom built our own financial infrastructure that can instantly settle transactions in a peer-to-peer manner without taking custody of our customer assets. So the reason we're able to do this is because we work closely with a group of now over 200 curated liquidity peers on the right side here, who provide liquidity directly to Zenpool by giving us API access into their local payment methods. So these are Alipay, FPS in Hong Kong, UPI in India, PayNow in Singapore. And our software can monitor and trigger transactions to and from these accounts through these custom APIs that we've built. Now, these liquidity providers, these liquidity peers, they are prime brokerages, crypto funds, and individuals who are willing to hold both their respective local currency and cryptocurrency on their books and earn fees on them in return. So our business model is super simple. We charge a transaction fee for all successful transactions that go through Zenpool. Each converted user earns us roughly $42 annually. And we expect this number to increase as we expand our services into the different verticals that I will briefly cover later on. Now, because of our architecture, our transactions don't have any costs associated with them. Just ask yourself, how much money does it cost to send a FPS transaction or an Alipay transaction? And it's actually free. So because of that, our costs will always be lower than that of our competitors that require middleman services like custodians. And I would even go as far as to say that we offer our customers the best of all worlds, right? We offer them the good rates of high liquidity exchanges, the instantaneousness of crypto ATMs, and the versatility of payments of traditional P2P marketplaces. Now, right now, Zenpool is fully operational in these countries. And within the next 6 quarters, we will also be fully functional in the top 20 economies in the Eastern Hemisphere. Now, while we are expanding into these different jurisdictions, we're also going to expand our product offering. We started out as just a company that has built the lowest cost possible way of processing local to cryptocurrency payments. But this infrastructure that we've built is not only applicable to this use case, we're also applicable to traditional online merchant payment processing. So imagine an Indian merchant being able to accept Hong Kong dollars with FPS while he himself will receive rupees through UPI directly into his Indian bank account within a few minutes. Now, we have already signed partnership agreements with WADS, which is a Southeast Asian e-commerce software provider, to include our payment method, payment gateway, into the 20,000 online shop that their software technology powers. And also, one of our investors is the founder of Lazada and has committed to bring our payment solution onto the Lazada platform once it has been built and tested on WADS, which will give us access to another 150K online merchants across Southeast Asia. So the team is led by myself as the CEO and Artem as the CTO. Both of us are very technical founders, so we know how to build these kinds of platforms securely and scalably. We also have a track record of being able to grow small B2C startups into highly valuable and profitable companies for our shareholders. In the last 4 quarters of operations, we've acquired over 25,000 transacting users. We've signed service agreements with the largest cryptocurrency platforms to be used as fiat gateways like Binance, OKX, Bybit, Bithumb, etc. Last month, we did over 5 million USD of gross transactional volume, GTV, and we're growing at a monthly rate of roughly 20% month on month. Now, right now, Zenpool is actually right in the middle of closing our pre-A round of financing. We're raising at most 5 million USD at a 20 mil pre-money valuation. Our lead investor is a public company in Hong Kong, and they are deploying 2.5 million USD. We also have over 1 mil USD of follow-on commitments right now. So we're in the process of drafting the shareholder agreement, and the round is expected to close before the end of May. So with that said, thank you guys very much for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
Maxime?
Thank you, Jeff. That was almost perfect. I started timing you when basically you were showing the second presentation. So probably you were probably if you consider it all, maybe 1 minute over time, but that is something that a little bit of rehearsing can totally solve.
Of course.
I like the structure. I think it's very clear. The problem is there, the solution is there, everything is there basically. One thing that I was kind of expecting when you were mentioning partners. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera is off. Yeah, when I was hearing about partnerships, I was expecting a slide that would show maybe for example, in the upper section, what kind of partnerships, and then who are the actual partners. I would incorporate a slide with partners, especially if it's something that you think it's worth mentioning, and you mentioned, so it's probably something that you value. I would definitely add a partnership slide, but except for saying timing is almost right, just need a bit of rehearsing, and these kind of little tweaks to the slides. I think that you're almost there. You even mentioned the amount of investment that you're looking for,
Right.
and yeah, everything is there. Absolutely on point presentation in orally and graphically as well. Yeah, just a few tweaks and it's going to be perfect for investment pitch.
Thank you.
Investors pitch.
I have actually a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned in the pitch, that we are literally right now in the process of closing our pre-A financing, and the thing is, right, that so OKX that they're leading the round, and it's actually a price round where we are issuing shares. So the cap table is going to be updated, and I noticed that on the list of other companies that are pitching, I noticed that there are people who are doing IEOs, who are selling tokens, and I was wondering, in terms of equity, if people are raising equity, how will that actually be represented? Is it that LATOKEN is going to create an SPV, like sort of like Bank to the Future, where they where you basically pool all of the allocation together? Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious.
It's a very new product. For now, what we are encouraging is we're encouraging projects that don't even have anything to do with cryptocurrencies to join, because that is a space, and the pool of investors that we have on board also says it. We're not only looking for blockchain startups. You definitely do that, and as I said before to the other project that was presenting, you don't need an IEO to participate, and definitely is not something that we're only looking for. So yeah, in the future, we don't know clearly what the objective is going to be, but definitely for now, we're trying to create good content, connecting projects to VCs and other institutional investors. Definitely, as this thing scales, probably we're going to create some subgroups. For example, blockchain, fintech, I don't know, transportation, healthcare, and
so for
I see. Yeah, go on.
So for this specific instance, right? What will happen is that I'm going to go pitch. If everything works out, then some investors are going to like what I do, let's say. They'll reach out to me privately. And is that how the deal would be done then?
Sorry, say again?
So let's say I pitch on LATOKEN, right? And some investors want to invest. What does their user journey look like? Like, do they just reach out to me via email, and then like we get them get them to sign a shareholder agreement, or is this on the LATOKEN platform?
We are definitely the connectors. It's not going to be entirely on our platform. Obviously, different investors have their different, as you said, customer journey, and then if everything goes well, different ways of doing due diligence. That's completely up to them. We're not linked in the process. We're just the connectors. So after the pitch, obviously they're going to give you feedback. They're going to give you advice. They're going to consider who is the most worthy project winning the pitch competition that day. And yeah, if they are interested, they're gonna contact us. They're gonna tell us, look, we're interested in X project, and we're gonna connect, and then we're out of the process. That is something that then is decided with between the project and that person individually.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. I'm also curious, right? Like, is there a list of like which entities are going to be viewing the pitch? Like which investors? Is that public information?
Absolutely. You can ask your dedicated LATOKEN manager. Usually we release that information 2 days or at least 1 day before that slot. You're going to have, the entire list of panelists as well as judges who are also all investors, and you can see if there is someone of your interest and decide when you want to pitch that way. And yeah, basically that's it. I don't know if you have any further questions.
I don't. Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you for your time. We hope we're going to see you on one of our road shows.
All right.
Take care. Take care
Bye-bye.
for now.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. All right. So this is so far was the last project for today, guys. Thank you, everybody, for participating in today's demo pitch. I remind you that the next one will be hosted today, 8 p.m. Moscow time, GMT +3. Thank you, Alexander.
My pleasure.
So I wish you a very good day.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Alexander, for staying throughout. We really appreciate it.
No, it's very interesting. So, and thanks for the opportunity. Yeah. So it's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See you.
Okay.
Let's keep in
Cheers.
touch.
Will do. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.